Hello friends, my name is Real Emile and welcome back to some more Forza Motorsport 6 and welcome to a pretty exciting announcement. This is something I've wanted to do for quite a long time and I am happy to unveil that we are going to be going racing here on Forza Motorsport 6 and you are invited to come along and take part in the ETCC, which is basically a touring car spec series, and that's literally the best name I can think of for this, the ETCC. It's a bit of a rubbish name, but it's fine. Anyways, so what this basically is going to be is it is going to be a 10-round series. We're going to be going to 5 tracks, 2 rounds each on the tracks, and we're going to be running every single Friday from Friday the 9th of June at around 11 PM British summertime. Now admittedly, if we can get everyone in the lobby and so on before that, then we will run slightly early. I'd say sort of get yourself prepared around 10:30. Of course, you can convert that into your own time zone. I believe actually that running in this time zone does favour the Americans, as that will sort of be more sort of mid-evening for them. It kind of sucks a little bit for some of the British people, but the reason I'm doing it on a Friday is because it's the weekend and most people get off work and school and stuff, so yeah, they can come and participate in this. All you need to come along and participate in this is very simple. You need a copy of Forza Motorsport 6, obviously, and Xbox Live Gold. You are going to need one of my tunes, which we will get into for a second. I have 8 cars you can use for this that I've built up and that are ETCC approved, shall we say. You are going to need a racing number, preferably one that isn't already taken. I haven't got a list of numbers on me, but basically just comment down below with the number you want to run and I'll tell you whether that's available or not. Your team name, which is basically just anywhere on the car. I would recommend designing your own paint jobs for your car. You don't have to, you can run the car in a stock paint job if you want to, and I'll just register you as a privateer. But yeah, you can either design your own paint job or get one from the storefront. Just make sure it is an offensive paint job, because otherwise you'll be banned from racing in this, because this is going to be going on my YouTube channel. I'll do highlights and so on and so forth. Here are the cars, quickly, just so you can see. There is this 2014 BMW M235i. There is a mixture of rear-wheel drive and front-wheel drive cars involved in this. We've got 4 front-wheel drives and 4 rear-wheel drives. The BMW is probably the most balanced of all the rear-wheel drives. The Focus ST is the most balanced of all of the front-wheel drive cars. This is the car that personally I'm going to be running in the series. You've sort of seen it sort of bellowing around a Brands Hatch, sort of in that testing shot. A couple of interesting cars in this, such as the Lexus IS 350. This car has slightly more power, but slightly more weight. It is a rear-wheel drive car. All these cars have sort of been tuned up to roughly similar proportions: 350 horsepower, less than or around 3,000 pounds of weight. They're all running 255 tyres and they're all running forced induction. The Civic Si is the least powerful car of the bunch, but it is also the lightest vehicle of all of them. It's also running 245 tyres, but that doesn't really affect the handling of that vehicle. The Mazdaspeed 3 has a slight emphasis on power over the other front-wheel drive cars, but ultimately it's pretty well balanced, and it is something a little bit interesting that I decided to run in here. However, it's not as interesting as the next car. Probably the most interesting car that you can run in this series is the Peugeot 308 GTI. This thing is a rear-wheel drive, and it is the most powerful car here, 376 horsepower. That does mean that it should gain an advantage on the straight lines, but maybe it will struggle a little bit through the corners, although in my personal experience, all these cars are pretty good handling and can all run within a second of each other on Brands Hatch, which is where I've been testing them. The WRX, another pretty well balanced rear-wheel drive car, and yeah, I was going to run one of these originally, but then I decided rear-wheel drive kind of wasn't my style for a racing series. And finally we have the Scirocco R, which is the heaviest front-wheel drive car, but it is the highest in PI. Maybe that'll count for something, even though the PI system in Forza doesn't usually count for anything. So they're the 8 cars. You can pick any of those that you want. I would sort of stress, I do want to try and get as much variety as possible in this series. So basically, for example, I've already got 2 Sciroccos signed up for the series, so I'll probably say one more person can run the Scirocco, and then I'll probably call it on the Sciroccos, just so I don't basically get an oversaturation of cars. I don't want everyone racing exactly the same car, otherwise that'd get a little bit boring. All you need to do, again, to get involved in this, very simple. Just tell me your gamertag, tell me your team name, your racing number, which car you'd like to use, and sort of whether you can participate in round 1. Now, I would recommend, even if you can't make round 1, even if like 11 PM this Friday sounds bad, but maybe you can participate on other Fridays, that's absolutely fine. You can still register up to this, that'll be absolutely fine, you just be absent for that round. We are going to be doing championship rankings, but ultimately, this isn't so much about sort of taking the crown and so on. It's more about having fun, and it's more for me to see if this works, if this is something you guys enjoy. All highlights from this will be uploaded to my YouTube channel. I'll probably do a full commentary video sort of breaking down the race and so on and so forth, very similar to sort of a fail racy style video. You are free to record your own point of views, you can do live streams on this, you can do whatever you want. If you are participating in this, that's absolutely fine. Yeah, that's pretty much all I've really got to say about this. All I need, again, there are a few rules in this. I do need you to have an ability to somewhat race cleanly. I don't care about your skill set. If you're an absolute professional hot lapper racing league professional, that's fine, you can participate in this. If you're just an amateur, feel free to come along. I still want you to come along. You can come and have fun, and you'll probably find someone you can race against as well. We have the people already signed up to this sort of from my Discord group are all sorts of very different skill sets and so on and so forth. So you'll probably find someone to have fun with and race. So yeah, again, if you're amateur, come along and have fun. Just don't ram anyone off the road on purpose. If there is a major incident, we'll sort of look into it and review it. If it's a repeated offence, then you'll just be banned from the series. To get at the cars, because I forgot to mention this, I just remembered, simply, I'll probably put an annotation, but whatever. Simply search for TRETCC on the Forza Motorsport 6 Tures storefront, or alternatively search for my gamertag, the Real Emile, and you will find the tunes for all 8 of those vehicles. Have a play around with them and see ultimately which car fits you best. And I think that's everything mentioned about this. I can't really think of anything else I have to mention. As I said, this will sort of be commencing at 11 PM British Summer Time, Friday the 9th of June. The first round will be at the Brands Hatch GP circuit. Rounds 1 and 2 will be there. Yeah, ultimately, if you want to come along for this, that's fine. Any sort of announcements and changes I make, I will sort of message you personally. If you do have Discord, that would be an advantage, as if you want to get involved in this, I will probably invite you along to my Discord server, and you can sort of talk about the race and get the news from there. That would probably be the best place to go. So yeah, hopefully this is a thing that will go very well and will end up racing a lot more. It's something I'd like to do a lot more of. I've got plenty of ideas for sort of spec races and so on, mini championships and so on I can do in the future. So come along, come get involved. I hope to see many of you on the track, and hopefully we can go and have some fun, clean racing. Please do let me know if you want to get involved in this before Thursday. That would probably be the best time to do it, sort of cut off Thursday, just so I can tell you sort of any changes that may happen regarding cars or so on and so forth. But yeah, that's pretty much everything, friends. Thank you all very, very much for watching. Please come along, please show up, and even if you don't, you can enjoy the races on YouTube. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a farewell.